And today we are going to hello everybody, we're going to take these two potatoes and chop them up into little pieces. So let's get started. And the reason we're chopping this stuff up is we're going to be making a chicken curry. It's going to be a little on the spicy chicken curry side. Then we just save the potatoes to the side. There we go. That is one potato. And here is the second potato. You can probably use yam potato. You can use regular russet potato, but it doesn't matter what type of potato you're using. It's just going to go right into the pot when we're cooking up. So here we go. That is the potato. The potato is done. Now we'll just put this aside and save it for the next time we need it. Okay, our next item to chop is 2 onions. We're going to take these 2 onions and just roughly chop them.
Will be bell pepper.
Here we have 2 bell pepper, and all we're going to do is just give it strips, chop it in strips, and once we're done with chopping in strips, we're going to chop it one time in half. So here's this 1/2. There we go. We'll do the same thing to this one. And in half. There we go. The green bell pepper, same thing. Okay. And this time I'm chopping that one into thirds. This one, maybe the same thing. It all depends. I like having some chunks and some not that big of chunks. So if you're going to go with something, I like this piece here and I like this piece here. Okay, take a look at these 2 chicken breasts. These are 2 chicken breasts. I'm going to cut that right there in half. That's 2 chicken breasts. I'm going to chop this into smaller pieces. Smaller pieces. We're going to chop this chicken into smaller pieces. And then we're going to chop them one more time. Actually, maybe 2 more times for the crisscross. We're going for like cubed. So we got some cubed chicken there. You know, what I find is when chicken is slightly still frozen, it's a lot easier to chop. So I would recommend chopping your chicken when it's slightly frozen. Not totally, but not totally defrosted. You don't want it sliding all over the place. And this is
really quick, really simple, really easy chopping that you're going to do right now. You want to make sure that you wash your hands afterwards and all that good stuff about keeping nice and sanitized. So you see, I got some cubes right there. some pieces are a little bit bigger than the others, so when you get to that fat part of the breast, chop it 3 times. I guess you can do the same thing with turkey, and I don't know, turkey, maybe some other type of meat too, but this is chicken. So here we got chicken now, and we're going to make sure we wash our knife and our hands with hot water and soap.
Okay, so we're going to be using the Kasori Instapot. And what I've done here is I've selected Sautéing and brown. That is bringing the temperature up of the pot to 284 degrees. And I'm going to wait a few minutes until it gets nice and hot. Then I'm going to put either a little bit of olive oil at the bottom, or I'm going to spray the container with a cooking spray. For most of you, you probably use the cooking spray. I think for this, we're going to use the olive oil because the cooking spray tip is not working. Just a smidgen of olive oil into our pot. Now I'm going to take the onions and toss them into our pot here. That's 2 onions. And we're going to slowly saute these until they get a little on the translucent side. We're going to take half a tablespoon of that minced garlic, a big heaping, and throw that in there. And on the same time, still keep on stirring it around. To crush some of this chili and garlic into here. Okay, that's good. For those Trader Joe fans, we're going to throw this 21 seasoning salute in, and we're just going to pour in as much as you think it might take. This is the nice thing about cooking your own stuff. You get to add and subtract whatever you feel is necessary for your meals. We just recently went out 3 or 4 days in a row, and after eating out, you can definitely feel that you need to eat in a little bit more. So we have the onion and garlic and the seasoning, the 21 Salute seasoning from Trader Joe's, and the half tablespoon of garlic in there. So let's throw this chicken in. That's 2 chicken breasts, and we're just gonna let this brown. Not brown, we're gonna just mix it around a little bit. Get all that onion and garlic around that. We're gonna use the soy sauce and just squirt in a little bit. That might have been like about half a tablespoon. Let's mix that around. Okay. Our Instapot is still at 284 degrees. Silk makes a coconut unsweetened drink. We're gonna, in this 45 calories, we're going to use about 16 ounces of that right now. Once this chicken is stirred up a little bit more, we're gonna throw that in there. That's a good time to throw it in. So we're going to throw in that 16 ounces of the coconut milk. We'll probably use another 8 to 10 ounces later on. As you can see, that really slowed down the pot from cooking. Now, for the curry powder, we're going to go with half a full tablespoon. And you saw that a little bit fell out. That's okay. We're going with another half tablespoon and another. So 4 altogether. Let's stir this up. I can already smell the curry. It's so good smelling. And now that we've stirred it up, broken up all that powder into the milk, into the coconut milk, let's see what else we got. So potatoes are pretty thick in the squares, so let's throw those in. And now we've been currently cooking or sauteing that onion and the chicken and all that other stuff for about 10 minutes. Let's start this on the cook. This is going to take a while now, so what you might want to do is, like what they suggest is brown, and that will actually make the pot hotter. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on and cook this for 15 minutes is the default, and so that's what we're going with. And what happens is it has to build up the pressure inside. 15 minutes, and then after that we throw in the carrots and we throw in the bell pepper and the last remaining 8 to 10 ounces of coconut milk, and we should be done. Okay, so we hit the stop button so it's no longer browning and sauteing, and then we hit the poultry button, which defaults to 15 minutes. After that we hit start and we're good to go. But make sure before you even do any of these things, you put the lid on tightly. You make sure that the steam little cup is attached to the back and that the top release valve is in the locked closed position. I guess we'll see you in about 15 minutes plus the time that it takes for it to pressurize inside. Okay, we got 1 more minute left to go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open this up. Well, should I say release the air. Open this up carefully. And then we're going to stick the bell peppers and the carrots inside, stir it around, and then we're going to also get a large spoon and to put 2 heapings of powdered peanut butter into it. And then we're going to put it back on. We're going to put it back on for 5 minutes. Okay, in comes the carrots. And we'll stir that around. Look at that. You know, I wish you guys can smell this because this smells really, really good. So we got the carrots in there now. And then we're going to put the bell pepper. Carrots in, bell pepper in, stir up. This is starting to look like curry now, guys. It's starting to smell really good. Can't wait to try it. And it's going to be done in pretty soon. So we got some big chunks of potato, big chunks of chicken. Now let's just put that peanut butter in and we're good to go. Oh, I'm sorry. We're also going to have to put a little bit more coconut milk into it. Okay, just to bump up the flavor a little bit more, I put 3 tablespoons of the peanut butter powder, the PB Fit. And boy, is it smelling good. Now I also have that 8 ounces of extra coconut milk that we're pouring in here. Later on, you might want to put your own amount of pepper, and maybe you might have to add a little bit more salt. We try not to use that much salt. I know we put the soy sauce into this, so let's just see how it tastes. And maybe you can do without the soy sauce and just put salt. I'm not sure. This is just something that I've concocted today. So let's stir this up a little bit more and we'll put this back on for 3 minutes so that everything can get a little bit more on the cooked side, like the vegetables and the carrots. 5 minutes and pressurizing time over, and our curry is complete. Okay guys, so now that you know how to make chicken Thai curry 80 style in the Instant Pot, go over to Julie's Living Large on Lifetime and see the full-on eating review of the chicken curry in the Instant Pot. Thanks guys.